Don't you dare touch her again. Stop! What is going on here? You slapped me! How dare you!
She hit her boss's girlfriend in the face. In front of her boss. In front of his mother. And she didn't run. The woman on the floor is stunning. The kind of stunning that has a skincare routine and a photographer. Her hand is pressed to her cheek. Her eyes aren't crying, they're calculating. Standing over her is Amara. Gray uniform. White sneakers. Breathing like she just surfaced from water. Her right hand is still warm from the contact. Behind Amara, a wheelchair. In the wheelchair, a 74-year-old black woman named Dr. Odette Briggs. Her reading glasses are on the floor. Her left cheek is red. A handprint. Fresh. The door opens. Dex Briggs walks in. 6'2", suit pressed, phone in hand. He sees three things in 1 second. His girlfriend on the floor. His housekeeper standing over her. His mother with someone's mark on her face. 3 people. 3 stories. 10 seconds to decide which one is true. For months ago, Amara Ose stepped off a bus from Atlanta with 1 rolling bag, a work authorization card, and her grandmother's last words still playing in her head like a voicemail she couldn't delete. You have strong hands, baby. Use them to lift people. She had no idea she'd need to use them this way. For months earlier, Amara stands at the service entrance of a high-rise in Midtown Houston. 26 years old. Ghanaian American. Wearing a blazer she ironed on her hotel bed using a towel and a hair straightener because she couldn't find the iron. The building is 41 floors. The penthouse takes the whole top. The building manager, Ms. Faye, walks her up without smiling. Efficient woman. The kind who's seen 100 girls come through this door and watched half of them quit. Dr. Briggs is 74. Retired professor. Paralyzed from the waist down, spinal injury 2 years ago. She's sharp. She reads everything. She'll test you. Amara thinks, my grandmother tested me for 18 years. The room is bright. 1 whole wall is books. Not decorative books. Read books. Cracked spines, folded pages, post-it notes sticking out like little yellow flags. In the center of the room, in the wheelchair, is Dr. Odette Briggs. Small. Brown. White locks pulled back. Round glasses sitting slightly tilted on her nose. A face that used to command lecture halls and is now forced to command a single room. She looks at Amara the way professors look at students on the first day. Convince me. You're Ghanaian. Yes, ma'am. Born here, but both parents from Kumasi. Ashanti. Yes, ma'am. I taught African literature for 22 years. Do you read? I read everything. Dr. Briggs tilts her head. Name something you hated. Amara doesn't pause. The ending of their eyes were watching God. Janie Berry's tea cake and the book acts like that's peace. That's not peace. That's survival dressed up pretty. Something moves on the old woman's face. Not a smile. The space where a smile could live. You start this afternoon. Amara has been lifting women who can't walk since she was 8 years old. Her grandmother had MS. Amara bathed her, dressed her, braided her hair, pushed her wheelchair to church every Sunday. Her grandmother died when Amara was 23. Last words through the oxygen mask. Strong hands. Use them to lift people. That's the only reason Amara took this job. Not the pay. She knows what it means to be the person who cares for someone the world stopped seeing. Within 2 weeks, she and Dr. Briggs find their rhythm. Mornings. Dr. Briggs reads poetry aloud. Her professor's voice comes back like a muscle memory. Strong. Sure. Filling the room. Afternoons. Amara reads and Dr. Briggs argues. They fight about books the way people fight when they've been waiting their whole lives for someone worth the disagreement. Toni Morrison writes like she's daring you to keep up, Dr. Briggs says. Because she is. She never slowed down for readers who weren't ready. Dr. Briggs looks at Amara. Not employer to employee. Reader to reader. The braiding starts in week 3. Amara is detangling Dr. Briggs's locks when she asks, can I redo these? I could take them out, wash them, start fresh. My grandmother said clean locks felt like a crown. I'm 74. My grandmother was 81. Silence. Do it. For hours later, Amara holds up a mirror. Dr. Briggs touches her fresh locks slowly, like she's reading something in them. I look like somebody's grandmother. You look like a professor. Those aren't different things. She laughs, real and full, like something that had been locked in a drawer for 2 years and finally remembered it was allowed to exist. From the hallway, footsteps, someone listening, then walking away. Jade, Dex's girlfriend, arrives every day around noon. She runs a wellness brand. 40,000 Instagram followers. She calls Dr. Briggs her queen, her inspiration. She brings flowers. She posts photos with the caption, "Spending the afternoon with the most elegant woman I know." Amara watches. Real warmth is clumsy. It interrupts itself. It laughs at wrong moments. Forgets what it said. Jade's warmth is choreographed. Every gesture landing precisely where it's supposed to. Every word preloaded. Amara's grandmother used to say, when someone is too careful with their kindness, they're hiding the opposite. Day 11. Amara comes back with afternoon tea. The door is cracked. Jade's voice, low and smooth. "He'll put you somewhere eventually. After the wedding, somewhere nice. A facility. You'll have your books, but you won't have this view. You won't have him stopping by. Because I'll explain that the facility offers better care. And he'll believe me. He always believes me." Dr. Briggs's voice, small, frightened. "Please don't do this. Then don't make me. When the new doctor comes on Friday, you'll tell him you've been confused. Forgetting things. Do you understand?" "Yes." Amara stands in the hallway, tea tray in her hands, fingers bloodless around the handles. She walks in smiling. Normal. Smooth. Jade straightens. Her smile returns without a flicker. Amara sets down the tray, and she begins to watch. Day 15. While helping Dr. Briggs change, Amara sees the bruise. Inside the upper arm. Purple. The shape of 3 fingertips pressed hard. "Wheelchair arms don't leave fingerprints," Amara says quietly. Dr. Briggs pulls away. "I bumped it. I bathed my grandmother every day for 15 years. I know the difference between a bump and a grip." The old woman looks at the window. It's nothing. The gate stays closed. But Amara has seen behind it now. Day 18. Amara finishes her shift and passes Dr. Briggs's room. The wheelchair is facing the wall, 18 inches from white paint. Dr. Briggs is sitting still, staring at nothing. She can't turn the chair herself. Her arms aren't strong enough to manage the weight. "How long have you been like this? What time is it?" 3:40. Since 10. Almost 6 hours. Facing a wall. Because someone pointed her there and left. Amara grips the handles. Turns the chair back to the window. Afternoon light hits Dr. Briggs's face. She blinks. Slow. Like surfacing. "She said the light was hurting my eyes. Was it?" "No." Amara opens the curtains wider. Adjusts the lap blanket. Hands her the book from the side table. Doesn't say another word. Dr. Briggs reads. Her hands shake through the first page. By the third, the professor's voice is back. Amara stands by the window and listens. Her jaw is clenched so tight it throbs. Day 22. The glasses are gone. Amara searches for 2 days before she finds them. Tucked into the back of a bureau drawer beneath folded scarves. Jade put them there. Dr. Briggs has been sitting for days in a blur. Unable to read. Unable to see the skyline. Unable to be the professor. Just a woman in a fog. Amara cleans the lenses with her apron. Kneels beside the wheelchair. Places them on Dr. Briggs's face the same way she used to place her grandmother's reading glasses on. Gently. Like they matter. Because they do. Dr. Briggs's eyes focus. The room sharpens. The bookshelf. The window. Amara's face. "Thank you," she whispers. That night, Amara lies in her small room at the end of the service hall and stares at the ceiling. She doesn't cry for herself. She cries for the woman down the hall who won't. Day 27. Amara hears it from the corridor. A sharp sound. Skin on something hard. Then a short, cut-off cry. She opens the door. Jade is standing beside the wheelchair. Dr. Briggs's hand is in her lap, already swelling. Jade's heel had been on her fingers. "Amara." I was just fixing her blanket. The smile is instant. Perfect. That night, Amara wraps the swollen finger with medical tape and an ice pack. Tell Dex, she says. She'll put me in a home. She's been telling him for months that I'm confused. She brought a doctor, told him I'm declining. She's building a case to have me declared mentally incompetent. You're the sharpest person I've ever met. It doesn't matter what I am. It matters what she makes him think I am. Silence. She's not smarter than you, Amara says. She's just meaner. Those are different things. Day 32. Amara goes to Dex. His home office. Glass walls. A desk the size of her first apartment. She tells him everything. The threats. The hidden glasses. The bruise. The heel on the fingers. The whispered promise of a facility. He listens. Then he calls Jade. Jade arrives. The performance begins. Tears. A voice that sounds like it's breaking. She pulls up photos on her phone. Her and Dr. Briggs laughing, smiling, cheek to cheek. Why would I do any of that? I love Odette. Why would this girl lie? Dex goes to Dr. Briggs's room. Amara follows. Jade follows. Mom, Amara says Jade has been hurting you. Is that true? Dr. Briggs's eyes move slowly from her son's face to Jade, standing just behind him. Jade's expression is full of love and heartbreak and concern, but her eyes say something else. The facility, the confusion, the papers. Say what you're supposed to say. Dr. Briggs looks at her lap. No, Amara is mistaken. Jade has been very kind to me. Dex turns to Amara. My mother has spoken. If you make accusations like this again, I'll have to let you go. He leaves. Jade walks out behind him. She looks back at Amara from the doorway. The tears are gone. What's underneath is smooth, cold, unbothered. Amara stands in the room alone with Dr. Briggs. The old woman stares at her hands. I'm sorry, Amara. Don't be sorry. Be angry. I'm too tired to be angry. Then I'll be angry for both of us. Amara sits beside the wheelchair, takes Dr. Briggs's wrapped hand in both of hers. The room is quiet. Don't leave me alone with her, Dr. Briggs whispers. I'm not going anywhere. The weeks pass. Amara stays. Braids, reads, cooks, argues, holds. Dex begins to notice not the abuse but the change. He walks past his mother's room one afternoon and hears laughter. He stops. Both women are mid-argument about whether Zora Neale Hurston was fearless or reckless. His mother is winning. He hasn't heard that sound in 2 years. He watches for almost 3 minutes. Then he walks away. That evening, in the kitchen. My mother laughed today. She laughs most days. She didn't used to. She wasn't given enough reasons. What did you do differently? Amara turns to face him. I braided her hair. I read with her. I made her gel off. I argued about books. I treated her like a human being, not a liability in a wheelchair. I treat her well. You treat her like a duty. How are you, Mom? Good. Okay. That's not a conversation. That's an attendance record. Nobody talks to Dex Briggs like this. Not board members. Not lawyers. His housekeeper just did. She was a professor, Amara says. She shaped people's thinking for 22 years. And she's been sitting in that wheelchair for 2 years with no one who treats her like she's still that woman. He says nothing. That night, he goes to his mother's room. He stays for over an hour. Not 10 minutes. An hour. Meanwhile, Jade notices the shift too. Dr. Briggs is stronger, louder, dangerous. She escalates. She limits Amara's hours. Replaces the physical therapist with someone who reports back to her. Tightens everything. Squeezes. Month 4. Thursday. 4:12 p.m. Dr. Briggs finds the professor's voice one last time. I'm going to tell my son what you are. He sat with me last week. He heard me. He's starting to see me again. And when he sees me clearly, he'll see you clearly. Jade's voice drops. Flat. Final. No. He won't. The sound comes before the comprehension. Sharp. Skin on skin. An open hand striking a 74-year-old woman's face hard enough to knock her sideways. The glasses spin off and hit the marble. Amara opens the door. Frame 1. Jade standing over the wheelchair. Hands still raised. Face completely blank. The look of someone completing a task they've done before. Frame 2. Dr. Briggs. Head turned from the impact. Left cheek dark. Eyes open. Defiant. Frame 3. The glasses on the floor. One lens cracked. The things she needs to read. To see. To be herself. Amara looks at the handprint. Looks at the glasses. Looks at Jade's blank face. Something ignites. Not anger. Not bravery. A reflex. The same reflex that made her lift her grandmother every morning. The same one that made her ice a swollen finger at midnight. The reflex of a woman built by 18 years of pushing a wheelchair to church. Of standing between the vulnerable and the world. 3 steps. Her right hand open palm. Not a fist. Correction. Her palm connects with Jade's cheek. Jade goes sideways off the armrest. Hits the marble. Her hair fans out. Her hand flies to her face. Amara stands between the wheelchair and the woman on the floor. Her palm stings. Her visa is over. Her job is over. She doesn't move. Don't touch her again. Behind her, Dr. Briggs looks at Amara's back with an expression that has no name. The expression of someone who just watched a stranger run into traffic for them. Someone fought for me. 30 seconds. The door opens. Dex walks in. Jade speaks first. Always first. The tears are already there, right on schedule. She hit me. Out of nowhere. I was just visiting your mother. And she hit me. Dex looks at Amara. Amara says nothing. Stands still. Mom. What happened? Dr. Briggs's eyes move to Jade. Behind Dex. Jade's face is grief and shock and love. Her eyes say the home. The papers. The doctor. Say what you always say. Something is different. Today, a woman in a gray uniform crossed a room for her. Not for money. Not for status. Because she has strong hands and someone told her what they're for. Someone fought for me. The gate opens. She slapped me. The room goes still. Jade slapped me. Today. And before today. Dr. Briggs's voice gets steadier with every word. The professor returning. She pinches my arms. She stood on my fingers. She hid my glasses. She turned my wheelchair to face the wall and left me there for hours. She whispered that she'd put me in a home. That she'd tell you I'm losing my mind. Jade shakes her head. She's confused, Dex. I told you she's been. She just described a 2-year campaign in precise chronological order. Dex says. That is not confusion. That is testimony. He looks at Jade for a long moment. Get out. You're choosing the housekeeper over me? I'm choosing my mother. I should have chosen her 2 years ago. Jade leaves. Heels on marble, getting quieter. Then gone. But not finished. At 6:22 p.m., Jade calls the police. My boyfriend's domestic worker assaulted me. Technically true. The law doesn't ask why. Amara is questioned. Her work authorization is flagged. Immigration notified. Jade leaks the story to a blogger she knows. Billionaire's housekeeper attacks girlfriend. African immigrant faces deportation. The comments are immediate. Vicious. Predictable. Deport her. Who does she think she is? Amara reads the comments in her small room at the end of the service hall. Her hands don't shake. Her grandmother heard worse from church ladies who thought a woman in a wheelchair was divine punishment. Dex knocks on her door. I've called a lawyer. Why? Because you did what I should have done. I hit your girlfriend. You hit the woman torturing my mother. Courts won't see it that way. Courts will see the evidence. He pauses. I had cameras installed after the renovation. Every common room. They upload to a private server. Jade didn't know. Amara stares at him. 2 years of footage. Why didn't you check when I told you the first time? He has no answer. The answer is he didn't want to see. I'm watching now. He watches it alone. 6 hours. His office dark except for the screen. He sees Jade hide the glasses. Methodical. Opens the drawer. Places them inside. Closes it. Walks out. leaves a 74-year-old woman in a blur. He sees her turn the wheelchair to the wall, watches his mother grip the armrests, try to turn herself, fail, give up, sit for hours facing white paint while the Houston skyline shines behind her. He sees her stand on his mother's fingers, the cut-off cry, the smile on Jade's face, not cruelty, something worse, boredom. He hears the whispered threats. Audio clean, every word. He'll put you somewhere clean. You'll have your books, but you won't have him. He watches his mother's face absorb each word, watches the professor compress, watches a woman being made smaller, visit by visit, whisper by whisper. And he watches Amara, braiding locks, patient, the same pattern every week. Dr. Briggs's face shifting from hollow to alive as each row takes shape. Amara finding the glasses, cleaning the lenses with her apron, kneeling, placing them on Dr. Briggs's face like they're precious. Because they are. Amara turning the wheelchair back to the window, the light hitting his mother's face. His mother blinking, slow, like coming out of a dark room. Amara sitting beside the wheelchair in the middle of the night, not speaking, just there. Two women in the same room across 2 years. One shrinking her, one rebuilding her. He watches the footage from that afternoon last. Jade's slap, the glasses spinning, Amara crossing the room. He watches it 3 times. On the third viewing, he notices something he missed. After the hit, after Jade falls, Amara's hand is shaking. Her whole body is shaking. She is terrified, but she doesn't move away from the wheelchair. She plants herself between Dr. Briggs and the woman on the floor, and she stays. Dex opens the family trust documents. Then he calls his head of legal. Then he calls his private investigator. At 3:54 a.m. The accident 2 years ago. My mother's spinal injury. I need the full incident report. Vehicle maintenance records. That case was closed. Open it. The report comes back 48 hours later. The brake inspection scheduled for the morning of the accident was canceled by a phone call. The number traces to Jade's business manager. The brakes. The phone call. The timing. Dex sits with it for a full day. His stepfather, the man who fixed everything in the house, who made terrible jokes and kept every promise, died in that crash. His mother was paralyzed because someone canceled a brake inspection. He tells Amara. She goes still. Your mother doesn't know? She's blamed herself for 2 years. She told me she's the one who said they were running late. He skipped the mechanic because of her. She needs to hear this from you, not from a lawyer, from her son. They tell Dr. Briggs together. By the window, the Houston skyline beyond the glass. She listens with a professor's face. Processing. Cataloging. Then, the brakes. Someone canceled the inspection. Yes. He said they felt wrong that morning. He almost called. I told him we were running late. Her voice drops to almost nothing. I've carried that for 2 years. It wasn't your fault, Mom. She doesn't cry. She goes completely still. The room holds its breath. Then the professor's voice comes back. Clear. Absolute. Like a verdict. I want her to know that I know. And I want the world to know. All of it. The press conference. Dr. Briggs insists on attending. Wheelchair. Fresh locks. New glasses. Amara found an identical pair within a day. Wouldn't let her go without. The room is full of cameras. Reporters expecting a celebrity scandal. Dex speaks first. 3 days ago, my housekeeper struck my girlfriend. Media reported it as an unprovoked attack. I'm here to show you what actually happened. The screens activate. 12 minutes of footage. The room watches in silence. The hidden glasses. The wheelchair turned to the wall. The heel on the fingers. The gasps are audible. The whispered threats roll across the screen in subtitles. The psychiatric forms. The facility letter, drafted, addressed, waiting on a signature. Then Amara braiding locks, making jollof rice, finding the glasses, turning the chair back to the window, holding a swollen hand in the dark. Then Jade's slap, the glasses spinning, Amara crossing the room. Don't touch her again. The room erupts. Dex raises one hand. There's more. The trust documents. The filing. The phone call canceling the brake inspection. The connection to Jade's family firm. The accident that killed his stepfather and paralyzed his mother. Currently under reinvestigation. Cameras everywhere now. Dr. Briggs rolls to the center of the platform. My name is Dr. Odette Briggs. I taught African American literature at Howard University for 22 years. I am not confused. I am not declining. I am a woman in a wheelchair who was told to be quiet or lose everything. She looks to the side of the room. Gray uniform, white sneakers, eyes wet. Today I choose to speak because a young woman, a housekeeper in my son's house, chose to fight for me when I had stopped fighting for myself. She holds Amara's gaze. Amara Osei hit my abuser, and I wish I'd had the legs to stand up and do it myself. Jade is investigated. Elder abuse, fraud, potential criminal conspiracy in connection with the accident. Her wellness brand goes dark overnight. The comments flip. Protect Amara. She's the real one. Amara's charges are dropped by end of day. 3 weeks later, Dr. Briggs's room. Morning. Amara braids locks. Same pattern. Same hands. The reading lamp is on. The window faces the garden. The wheelchair is in full light. You're staying, Dr. Briggs says. Not a question. I'm staying. Not as a housekeeper. I'm not sure what else to call it. Companion, reader, lockbraider, jollof chef, friend. If that's not too soft for someone from Kumasi. We're sentimental. We just hide it. So do we. Dex offered Amara a formal position. Full salary, benefits, visa sponsorship. She accepted with one condition. I answer to your mother, not to you. That seems to be how everything works in this house now, he said. Slow learner. But you're getting there. That evening, Tuesday, Amara is in the kitchen. Jollof rice. The smell fills the whole floor. Dex sits at the counter and watches her cook. You changed everything in this house. I made rice and braided hair. Your mother did the rest. Silence. I don't know how to do this, he says. Feel something for someone who works here without it being wrong. I don't work in your house. I work for your mother. There's a difference. Is there? She thinks so. She told me last week. My son looks at you like you're a problem he's hoping never gets solved. She said that. She's a professor. She notices everything. He reaches across the counter. Not for her hand. For the spoon. Takes a bite directly from the pot. Amara stares at him. You did not just eat from the pot. I'm learning different ways to earn things. That's not how earning works. Then teach me. She looks at him. He looks at her. The counter between them. Same kitchen where she told him he treats his mother like a duty. Where he first heard laughter from down the hall and stopped walking. The distance is smaller now. By choice. Tuesday, she says. What about it? Come back next Tuesday. Sit with your mother for an hour first. Then come here. I'll make extra. Is that a date? It's jollof rice. Don't make it weird. From down the corridor, clear, full, commanding. I can hear you both. And yes, it's a date. Amara laughs. Dex almost smiles. The sound of a 74-year-old professor's voice carrying through a penthouse is the sound of a house finishing its long way back to being a home. Morning. Dr. Briggs's room. Door open. Lamp on. Books open. Window full of light. She's in her wheelchair. Locks braided. Glasses on. Reading aloud. African American poetry. The professor's voice. Full. Unhurried. Unsilenced. Amara sits beside her. She doesn't understand every reference. She doesn't need to. The sound of this woman's voice, strong and unafraid, is the only proof she needs that what she did was right. On the windowsill, 2 framed photos. Dr. Briggs and her late husband. And beside it, Amara and Dr. Briggs, taken by Dex. Neither woman is looking at the camera. Both are mid-argument. Both certain they're winning. She came to Houston with 1 rolling bag and a work authorization card. She took a job because she knew how to care for a woman who couldn't walk. She braided locks. She made jollof rice on Tuesdays. She argued about books with a professor who hadn't argued in 2 years. And when she saw a handprint on that professor's face, she crossed a room and used her strong hands the way her grandmother taught her. Not to hurt, to hold someone up. Some people spend their whole lives waiting for permission to do the right thing. Amara didn't wait. She saw broken glasses on a marble floor and she moved. Strong hands don't ask for credit. They just refuse to let go.